Welcome back. You watched our first or second or whatever number series, and you're back for more. That means we got great questions and great answers. Todd Collie with Great American RV, Eric Perry. Let's talk more about RV finance.
Let's do it.
Can I trade in my current RV or vehicle, boat, asset of any sort in towards the loan?
Absolutely. No issues with that. You know, we take trade-ins. The banks will allow for trade-ins to be included into the purchase. You know, if you've got a payoff, that's okay. We'll factor that into there and we'll pay that off for you so you start your new loan fresh. If you own it free and clear, that's just extra down payment towards your loan. Can help your interest rate. One thing you want to be careful of is most situations you do need to own the trade. Okay. So if it's a trade that is given to you and it's titled in a friend or family member's name, that can get tricky. So be careful about that. If your trade was registered or titled in a different state than you plan on registering and titling the new camper, there could be some tax differences there, so you'll want to look into that. But generally, it's pretty easy to trade in a vehicle. We put it right into the deal, right into the loan. We get that paid off for you, or it's down payment, and we get you a new camper. No problem.
And it's crazy. I've seen all kind of different stuff traded in. I mean, not grandma's silverware or anything, but you know, boats, cars, trucks, obviously. Other RVs is dead obvious. But I've seen golf carts traded in. You know, if it's, you know, a reasonable asset, right?
We don't want to feed it.
No, exactly. Right? We don't want to feed it. But if it's a reasonable asset, bring it to the table. And maybe it helps you out when it comes to financing, puts a little more money on the table for you, and takes out a little chunk of that loan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually one of the questions that our outfitters will ask customers, especially if maybe, you know, the camper of their dreams is a little bit outside their budget and they don't have the money to put down. We'll ask, you know, is there anything that you'd like to trade in, you know, that we could take? And sometimes that'll help with that, you know, final balance, get that note down a little bit and help make that camper more affordable. So we like to ask those questions, and if you got something you want to trade in, bring it into us and we'll try our best to put a value on it.
Another key part of that trade is the trade appraisal. Our outfitters or sales manager will sit down and go over key questions about that trade appraisal. What kind of condition is it in? How old is it? So on and so forth. Is it titled in your name? All kind of some of the stuff you already talked about. And it's very important to be honest about those questions, because in the end, you have to bring that unit to us and we're going to inspect it, and then that can affect that number afterwards. When you're sitting there at the table, it's best to just be upfront and honest right off the bat.
You're 100% right. I mean, we don't normally see the trades while we put these numbers on them, so we rely on a very thorough trade inspection and making sure that the camper's in good condition, because as you know, any camper that is in rough condition really affects the value.
Absolutely.
Right? And we want to make sure customers are getting accurate value for their trades. The last thing we want to have happen is customer comes in with their camper, it doesn't match the trade sheet, and now the number just doesn't match up with what we put on it. So that's something our outfitters spend a lot of time going through, making sure that we understand the condition of the camper and we put that accurate number on there. Both good and bad, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If we thought it was going to have some issues and it comes in not, then we'll end up paying more for the trade because it's in a better condition than we thought. So we want to make sure everything's accurate so there's no surprises that day of delivery.
No surprises are good for both consumer and us.
Absolutely. Right? We never like those conversations, so we do try our best to make sure that we, and we get pictures and stuff, all of that stuff helps put a value on that unit.
Absolutely. Insurance, always a big question. Do I need full coverage insurance before funding?
So you do need full coverage when getting an RV and having a loan on it. The bank wants to make sure that if something happens to that camper, it's insured, so they don't lose out on that asset. So we do want to make sure that it's fully insured before you leave. That way, if heaven forbid something does happen when you leave the lot, you're covered, and that loan can get paid off. So we want to make sure that that unit's fully insured, especially when you're financing an RV.
Right, and unfortunately, I've seen it happen. People have left. Things happen. They hit a low clearance just because they're not used to it, and that's why we have insurance. Right?
And what's really important, a side note from that, when you do finance an RV, depending on how much money you put down, gap insurance is going to be crucial for any RVer.
Oh yes.
Especially if you put less than 20% down, and it could even be more than that, because if something happens where that RV gets totaled, and the insurance company decides it's not quite worth what you still owe on it, you now have a totaled camper and still a balance left on that loan. Gap insurance will pay off that loan for you, so you can get a new camper, or if you're just done camping, you wipe your hands clean and you're done. Yep. So that's a crucial product that you're going to want to ask your finance manager about. They'll go over that in detail. Depending on how the loan is structured, it's almost a necessity.
It's a great lifesaver.
100%.
Yeah. All right. So when preparing to go in for, okay, next week I want to start looking for a camper, I may find it. I'm worried about my credit. I'm looking at stuff and things. Should I pay off my previous trade before coming in to buy that new RV or loan or anything of that nature? What do I need to look at for my credit to prepare for purchasing something like this?
Great question. In a lot of situations, let's say you still owe money on your trade-in, right? And you've worked a deal now and you're just ready for pickup maybe a couple days from now. It's always best, if you want to pay off that camper, do it in the new loan and don't just go to the bank, pay that off, because at that point they won't give you a title and we'll have to wait for that title to come in from the bank.
And delay.
It's just going to delay the process. So if you have a trade that's already paid off and you have a clean title for it, great, bring it in, no problem. But if you don't have that title yet, it's going to create a lot of headaches with doing the paperwork and then getting that title for that trade in. So it's always best, if you still owe money on it, if you want to put more money down or pay that trade off, just do it in the loan, do it in that new loan. And that way the title will come directly to the dealer, and we don't have to worry about it being in transit from the bank to the consumer and the consumer back to the dealer.
Makes sense. Shorter, sweeter.
That's right.
All right, so I think that's everything for this part of the series. We'll have a few, so make sure you're tuning in and following at Great American RV for the next part of the series for RV Finance with Eric Perry.
Perfect.